Wait a minute. What is this? Why is this here? And how is it possible? Well, let's rewind a bit. We'll start with the level. This is the far plane. At least, the in-progress version of it that will be featured in my upcoming hack, the Patchmaker's workshop. The far plane is a place that exists on the fringe of reality, and as such, has many features and challenges that are just plain weird. One of these places you'll visit is a nonsensical red-hued subdimension that will have a star within it. But to get there, I wanted to have something a little more strange than a normal warp. I wanted to have a square window floating in the middle of the endless road that you jump into to give a preview of the level. To start, I took to the ROM hacking discords to pitch my idea and gauge whether it was even possible. And thanks to the cozies who helped me out by explaining Z-buffers and how I could go about making custom geo layout that would render this effect, I finally was able to accomplish it. The window will show a preview of the next area, which is dynamic if you rotate the camera. It displays nothing from behind, and when getting close to it, it will grow in size to show more of the subdimension and provide a somewhat smooth transition to the next area when jumping in it. So, how does this work? Well, I just recently learned about this myself, so my explanation will be quite simplified. But if you want a better explanation about the Z-buffer and this technique, I recommend checking out this video on a portal recreation for the N64, as it uses a similar technique, but explains how it works much better. Anyways, first I render the second area, clearing the Z-buffer afterwards. This makes it so that anything that renders after this that writes and compares Z-buffer values will be guaranteed to render over the second area, since its Z-buffer value is now very far away. Then, a special plane is rendered, which is the basis for the window. This plane specifically does two things. It writes to the Z-buffer, and it does not compare with the Z-buffer. As cozies put it, it creates a hole that cuts through reality essentially, by drawing the plane shape, but not the pixels, since when you compare to the Z-buffer, it gauges which pixel to draw by gauging which one is farther or closer, and that causes the second area to be able to render inside of the plane. Finally, the rest of the level is drawn, which draws over every part of the second area that was previously rendered, except for the part that is within the bounds of the plane. Again, I highly recommend checking out the Portal N64 video, as my explanation barely went into depth about what any of this means, and my understanding of the technology behind it is not good enough to be that concise when explaining it. But yeah, this created an amazing effect in the level, and I think it makes it very immersive and weird, which is what I was going for with this level. Anyways, look forward to future updates with the Patchmaker's workshop, and be sure to check out my other videos about my other ROM hacks too.